They call gold and silver God's money. So if you're thinking of buying precious metals or switching your 401k to gold without a penalty, head on over to thegoldshow.com now. The link is in the description below.
Hello and welcome. Today we've got Sonya Nagy and we are going to be discussing the connection of 1111. Now, just before we begin, you can subscribe to our Telegram channels and to nicholasveniamin.com for my free email updates. And if you're watching this for the first time on YouTube, I will leave the link below in the description for the full interview. Sonya, thank you for joining me. How are you and what have you been up to?
I'm doing great. It's 11/11 and this is a significant day, and I'm really grateful to be here where I am and be celebrating 11/11/2021. And yes, I'm in Orlando, Florida, getting ready to land in High Springs, Florida, for our winter months. So getting ready to cultivate some strong energies to bring forward to clients and such. So yes. Doing great.
So to the viewers who are not completely sure, can you explain to us what is 1111 and what does it mean and why is it significant?
So I'll go first with the global significance. So this is the 103rd anniversary of the end of World War I. It's when the peace treaty was signed, the truce. There was no longer going to be war. So I think that's really significant that happened that was in the year 1918, and that was very closely connected to the Spanish flu. Now, we've just had what seems like a reproduction of that in current times with this whole world experience that we've all been going through. And I don't want to give more weight to that than that needs, but just interesting that there would be a reflection of this. And here we're at, our 102nd Veterans Day. Again, here's a connection to our military. And there was a connection then to the military being fully vaccinated for the Spanish flu back in that time prior to the armistice being signed in November 11th, 1918. And Veterans Day started November 11th, 1919. So I just find that globally significant and a very beautiful energy of peace, a balancing of two opposing forces, because this is very much where we've been in this two very opposed forces of this negative and positive, high vibration, low vibration energies, and hitting a balance point where there can be a neutral and either non-existence or standing in a coexistence for all of life. And this is where I believe we're coming to, and there's a lot behind the scenes that we don't know, and there's a feeling that this is here already. And then personally, the significance for me is on 11/11/11, so 10 years ago, I had a very conscious experience of my own DNA upgrade. And it was a very quick experience. And I was significantly changed thereafter. And I can just tell you, yesterday, I was having a lot of integration symptoms, right? So integrating a lot of energy of new, right? And specifically what I was integrating, it's just the new evolution. It's this earth frequencies that are upgrading. Possibly they're turning on more of this technology. There's solar, the galactical is also causing an effect. And it just feels very out of center, out of alignment, out of balance, and a lot of processing to be done, a lot of integrating to be done at that time.
So are you saying the solar technology are the white hats who are controlling it very slowly to increased consciousness. Is that what you mean? Yeah.
Well, and so it does feel like benevolent sources. So I will just say it does feel like we are benevolently, collectively being increased into that. So yes, could that potentially be white hat? Absolutely. I can tell you the feeling is very benevolent and harmonious to the whole. And, you know, if you look at the consciousness of mankind right now, we are further evolved than we've ever been before in our history that we are aware of. And, you know, there's ancient history that was very evolved that we know somewhat about. And again, that's ancient. So how much do we really know? There are people who have studied more of that, who know more of that. But in the common awareness, we're further along. We're collectively above the level of truth and integrity, which that only happened in around 1986, 87. So mankind is evolving, and, you know, this is the course of nature. And, you know, the systems that are going away don't want us to evolve, but nature is going to evolve anyway. That's just nature. Nature grows. We all grow, and everybody grows at their own level. Their own consciousness will evolve at their own rate. But this is nature. Nature has to grow. So this is where, you know, this jab is trying to stop that evolution for some people. And nature finds a way. I really have a lot of faith and knowingness in the power of nature. So, you know.
Let's talk about the DNA upgrade and why our people are experiencing ascension symptoms and how long it should last for. What are the symptoms and why do we have to go through these symptoms for our DNA to be upgraded from 2-strand to 12-strand?
We have to be upgraded to be able to stay here on Earth, to live in the higher energies that we, through our own evolution, through technology, as well as galactically, are moving through. We have to, our system has to become stronger to endure that. And this is why some people are leaving the planet, because they are not willing to endure that. They're at a soul level. They're not willing to make the upgrades. They're not willing to move through that. And it can be challenging. It can be uncomfortable. It can be emotional, physical. I'm very grateful that the work that I do has kept me, held me strong through most of this. And I have been doing personal growth for feels like all of my life, but very consistently since 2006, I've been working on myself very consciously. Personally, I help people to evolve their consciousness, to have that deeper connection to their heart, earth, soul connection, and even into their finance, because my first career was income tax and accounting. So the symptoms, just, you can be very off, disoriented in the mental body, not being able to think clearly. Memory lapse could be something. Now, this is also part of what the systems that are going away want to create for us. They actually want to take control of our memory and our mind and our imagination. And we see that through the recent shifts in the FB changing to the META. And that is they're trying to take grip on the metaphysical, because a lot of people aren't very aware of their metaphysical natures. So that game is still being tried to be played. And I say tried because I think we as a collective are much stronger and are able to move right through that and get that out of our space as well. And naturally, so it's just going to be something that people will start to drop away from, that are more aligned with their natural truth.
How about things like, the symptoms, for an example, feeling mild depression, bored, fed up, loneliness. Is that all part of it?
Yeah. So you could think of it as a detox. Yes, those are all part of it. And that is symptoms of detoxing. So a lot of people haven't felt their emotions, and there's a requirement to feel the emotions. Now, we don't have to feel them to the extent that we didn't feel them. So, sometimes there's periods of life that we're causing those negative vibrations that may have been years of going through. We don't have to go through years of the integration, but we have to acknowledge that to fully integrate that, to allow the system to continue to grow. Right now, they're like stoppers, if you will, that will interfere with that growth. Those things can't exist there. So they have to be cleaned out of the system. They have to be detoxed out.
So let's talk about the soul level a bit more. Why, if people are not deciding to want to be here, or they can't have the upgrade, or they don't want to have the upgrade and they're leaving, let's speak about more on the soul level. What's affecting that?
Well, everything is affecting our soul, our choices that we make here, how well we're caring for our physical vessel, because there really is no separation of our soul. We speak about it that way, but our soul is part of our system, just like our emotions and our mental body are part of our system. They're not disconnected from us. They are part of us. And some people aren't willing to do the work to align their mental, emotion. They're not willing to do the work of going inward and purifying the system to upgrade. They don't want to change their beliefs. They want to stay in what they know. There's security for a lot of people in what they know. And this is like stepping into the unknown for many people and learning to navigate that. And I can tell you what I do. I love what I do because I know it works. I know it works with all of the people I have worked with, even to the beyond, which is a fascinating experience. So October 18th, one of my students who's been with me on a weekly basis since April of 2021 passed away.
I'm really sorry to hear that. My condolences.
Yes, thank you. And she's connected with me. She's connected with our class. She's connected with many of my classes since she's passed on, to relay the message of the work that we're doing is supporting her in the afterlife. She is loud and clear and strong, because here in the physical is the only place that we can structure our energy. Once we're out of a form, we can no longer structure our energy, because we need a physical structure to structure it within.
Mm-hmm. Right. Interesting.
So, yes. So she's already conveying to me that she's able to be stronger in the spiritual, back in, the all of the all, than ever before, because of this work that we did, this work of learning how to be integrated and to be fully connected mentally, emotionally, physically, and spiritually, how to bring a harmony within the systems.
And what are you channeling into in respect to where we're going, and how, because I understand that now is a very confusing time. There isn't much information. We're getting a bit of drips of information. What do you make of this time, and where do you think we're going?
So I do think it is going to continue to come out in a digestible pace. So again, collective consciousness is higher evolved now than it's ever been. So this information is being slowly put out to not cause a shock, right? It has to come out in a way that people can absorb it. Many of the people who are listening to this video now have found this information, have gone down the rabbit hole on their own, and have pulled this information into their experience. There's a lot of people that don't want to do that don't do that don't have any care or concern to do that. They just want to live their little existence of their life. And so those people need to be brought along. So the information is going to come out in a way that they can be brought up to speed without going into shock.
Right. Absolutely. Well, Sonya Nagy, thank you very much for your time. It's been wonderful. Is there anything else that you'd like to say to the viewers before we finish?
Yes. So Wednesday night, I have my call at 8 o'clock Eastern, and I'd love for people to join where I take them through the process of this alignment so they can have this deeper connection to their heart, their earth, their soul, and to begin to allow their soul to form their experience in life. And you can go to soulformed.com, soulformed.com, and go to the first link and it'll bring you in there. And then this Saturday as well, I have my Cleaning Your Cash Consciousness entity removal class that is a $27. So it's a very easy entry level and people can join there. That's where we get to have a much deeper connection and we get to do some of the clearing of this negative impressions. And when I say negative, meaning they've gripped the nervous system and they're not allowing finances to flow, as well as life to flow, as well as nervous system healing. All of that is all part of that, because again, we are of that wholeness. So I just want to invite people to join into that and to stay in your truth, to stay in your wholeness and not be taken out by all of this insanity, and to find your own alignment, your breath, your connection to your heart and to your purpose here on earth and your soul, right? We're spiritual beings having this physical experience. And Nicholas, I want to say thank you to you for doing all that you do. You're brilliant. And may you have dinner with Mr. T sooner than later. And make it so. And lots of love and gratitude to you, to your audience. And thank you until next time.
Absolutely. Well, I will leave the link below so that people can get in contact with you, and we'll speak very soon. And thank you. God bless you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.